Every Tuesday at 9:15, a woman named Margaret drives to my house. She is not my nurse. She is my redundancy. Margaret is 67, retired from the post office, widowed 3 years. She likes silence even more than I do. We have an arrangement that took 6 months to perfect. Margaret has a key, but she does not use it. She knocks 3 times. I have 90 seconds to answer. If I do not answer, she enters. If I am on the floor, she calls for help. If I am simply slow, she waits. If I am gone, truly gone, she knows exactly whom to call and where my red binder sits. But here is the part that matters. If I answer the door, Margaret does not chat. She walks directly to my kitchen. She opens a small wooden box I built myself. 7 compartments, 1 for each day. She looks at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. She verifies the pills are gone from the days that passed. She does not ask me if I took them. She looks at the evidence. If the pills are missing, she marks a green check. If the pills are still there, she asks one question. Arthur, did you change your schedule? If I say yes, she notes it. If I say no, or if I look confused, or if I tell a story that does not make sense, she calls my doctor. Not my daughter, not an ambulance, my doctor. Because confusion does not always mean emergency. Sometimes it means adjustment. This system took months to build. My daughter wanted cameras. She wanted to track my phone. I refused. But I had to offer something. I had to build a system that protected her from the specific fear that I would disappear into my own mind and no one would notice. Margaret is my human sensor. She is better than any camera because she can interpret. She knows the difference between slow and absent. She knows that on rainy days my knees hurt and I move like I am underwater. She does not panic. She adjusts. I used to cook elaborate meals. When my wife was alive, I made sauces from scratch. I chopped vegetables with precision. Now I do not trust myself with fire. Not because I have burned anything, because I am 92, and an engineer does not wait for the fire to plan the escape. My stove is induction, no open flame. It cools the moment the pot leaves. My kettle turns itself off. My microwave has no memory function. Every use requires deliberate buttons, which means I must be present. I removed the glass coffee carafe. I use a French press now. If I drop it, it breaks. It does not shatter and slice my wrist while I am alone. My refrigerator has a clear door. I can see the milk from across the room. I can see whether it has turned. Every shelf is at eye level. Nothing hides in the back. Nothing rots in secret. These are not limitations. These are modifications. I am not declining. I am adapting. The hardest adaptation was not physical. It was conversational. I had to learn to tell people when I am confused. This is the skill no one teaches us. We are trained to hide uncertainty, to nod along, to pretend we recognize the face, remember the appointment, understand the instruction. At 92, this pretense becomes dangerous. So I practice radical honesty. When someone says, "Arthur, do you remember me?" and I do not, I say no. I say, "I do not remember your name, but I am listening now. Tell me again." When the doctor explains a new medication and I lose the thread, I stop him. I say, "I lost you at the second instruction. Start over. I will write it down." I carry a small notebook everywhere. I write down what I need to remember. Not because I am defeated, because I am 92, and my memory is a tool that requires maintenance now, like my lawnmower used to. I do not shame myself for this. I engineer around it. 3 months ago I sat down with my daughter Sarah and I gave her permission. I told her that if I stop making sense, if I become hostile, if I refuse the systems I have built, she is authorized to override me. I signed documents. I named her my healthcare proxy. I told her specifically what I do not want. No ventilator if my mind is gone. No feeding tube if I cannot ask for it. No heroic measures to preserve a body that no longer houses me. She cried. Of course she cried. I cried too. But I did not take it back, because the worst thing I could do to my daughter is leave her guessing. The worst thing I could do is force her to choose between my dignity and her guilt. I have watched families destroyed by this silence. I have seen children argue in hospital hallways about what their mother would have wanted. I have seen marriages crack under the weight of a parent who never said the words. I refuse to be that silence. My red binder is still on the desk, but now it has a second volume, my advance directive, my DNR order, a letter I wrote to Sarah that she cannot read until I am gone. I sealed it with tape. I wrote "for after" on the envelope. I do not remember the specific words. I wrote it 3 months ago, but I remember the feeling I wanted to leave her. That is enough. I have a friend, Henry. Henry is 89. Henry refused to have these conversations. Last month, Henry had a stroke. He cannot speak. He cannot sign his name. His children are in court, fighting over whether to keep him on a feeding tube. One says he would want to fight. The other says he would want peace. Both are guessing. Both are suffering. Henry is trapped in a body that cannot communicate, and his silence is destroying his family. I came home from visiting Henry, and I updated my red binder. I added a third copy of my directive, one to my doctor, one to Sarah. I keep the original. I have removed every ambiguity I can find. This is what it means to age alone with dignity. It does not mean refusing help. It means designing the help so precisely that it preserves your freedom, even as it protects your safety. Tomorrow I will wake at 6:30. I will make my coffee. I will watch the birds. At 9:15 I will hear Margaret's 3 knocks. I will walk to the door, slowly, and I will open it. She will check my pillbox. She will mark her clipboard. She will drive away, and I will be alone again, truly alone, but not abandoned, not unprotected, not a disaster waiting to happen. I am 92 years old. My systems are in place. My mind is clear today. If it is not clear tomorrow, the systems will hold. My daughter will know what to do. My doctor will know what I want. Margaret will notice if I vanish. I have engineered my freedom all the way to the end. Do not wait for the crisis. Build the systems now while you are clear. Have the conversations now while you can explain yourself. Write the letters, sign the documents, name your people. Then trust your engineering and live. Until next time, stay clear, stay prepared, stay peaceful. Drop a comment below. Let me know what system you'll be putting in place. I'll see you again right here.